Yo guys, what's going on? Boz Trainer back at you in a video, and for today's Tech Card Tuesday, we have the card called Karen. Now, Karen is X and Y Pro number 177. It was only available in the Rayquaza vs. Kelia Battle Arena deck that came out about around this time last year. As far as I know, the only way to get this card online, though, is by using the code card that came with the Battle Arena deck. As you guys see, my only two copies on here are locked, and that's the only way that I know how to get Karen is from that code. So if you guys need to get a copy of Karen online, you're gonna have to pick up the Battle Arena deck either at your local game store or Target or Walmart. Or I did see that on Troll Until they are selling for about $3.50. So if you guys need Karen, you can pick it up that way. Overall, I think if you're getting into the game just now, definitely go ahead and pick up that Battle Arena deck. It has some great cards in there for Expanded. You have things in there like Karen, not just Karen, but VS Seeker, Lysander, N, Sycamore. Octillery's in there too, guys. So if you guys need Octillery, pick up that Battle Arena deck. For about $25 to $30, that Battle Arena deck, especially if you're new, is definitely worth the investment. Or if you are hopping into Expanded, definitely worth the investment. The other way to get Karen, though, is in November we are getting that full art supporter box with all the missing full arts from the Best of XY. It has Karen in there, and Shauna, Delinquent. Bunch of really good supporters that are still available to us in Standard as well as in Expanded. But that is a little bit pricier. It's supposedly going to be retailing anywhere from $80 to $100. But enough of that. Let's talk about what this card is good at. Karen, supporter card. Both players shuffle all their Pokemon from their discard back into their deck. It's a great counter to one deck in specific, which is Night March. If you guys don't know what Night March is, it's a deck in Expanded that uses Battle Compressor to get cards into the discard that have the Night March attack. There are 3 Night Marchers currently. There's Joltik, Pumpkaboo, and Lampent. And the Night March tech does the same thing for all of them. There's 20 more damage. There's 20 damage for each Night Marcher in your discard pile. So if you have 10 Night Marchers, and Night Marchers continue for 200 damage. So Karen lets you shuffle both players' discard piles back and Pokemon from their discard piles into their decks, allowing you to survive Night March attacks, basically resetting their whole discard pile. And the Night March player is not difficult. This could completely shut them down if they don't have an easy way of getting those Night Marchers back into the discard pile. It's also good against things like Vespiquen, which has not seen a whole lot of play, but people are speculating that Vespiquen Flareon could come back as another deck. Personally, I've always favored Night March over Vespiquen Flareon just because I felt like Night Marcher was always more consistent. Decks that you would want to play Karen in are decks that is not Night March or Vespiquen Flareon. Things like Mega Ray like to play Karen as their counter to Night March because it allows them to get all their Pokemon back in their discard pile, reset back up, and shaman for a bunch of cards. I like to play Karen in my Mega Gardevoir deck that I like to play in Expanded. Other decks that could really benefit from Karen are things like Turtonator Volcanion. Could definitely play Karen as a one-of, but I think most lists have elected not to play it in favor of just relying on Turtonator's Shell Trap attack to just knock out any Night Marcher that attacks into it. So how do we play this card? Like, how do we get reliably so we can use it? The first and easiest way is just to Battle Compressor away. A lot of decks in Expanded will play Battle Compressor just to get their cards into the discard. If you're playing something that requires cards in the discard pile, you definitely are playing Battle Compressor. If you're not playing Battle Compressor and you don't really have a reason not to, it's definitely good to play 2 Battle Compressors. Just get your one-of supporters into your discard pile. Things like Karen, Ranger, Delinquent, Team Flagrant. Your tech one-of supporters just to give them to the discard pile. That way you don't draw into them either in late game, or they're always available to you with VS Seeker, because most of the time you're playing 4 VS Seekers. So that way you can pull that support out instantly when you need it. Another way to pull out this Karen and use it reliably is to play something like Tapu Lele GX or Jirachi EX. Both of them have the same, basically their abilities are the same. Wonder Tag and Stellar Guidance are the exact same ability. When you bench this Pokemon, grab support from your deck, put it into your hand. So great, both are great cards. Which one you play is going to be totally upon your deck. If you're playing something that uses the Hoopa engine, you definitely want to play Jirachi because it is an EX, so you can grab it with Hoopa. If you're playing something that uses level ball, again, Jirachi's probably a better option just because you can grab a level ball because it only has 90 HP. If you're not playing Hoopa or level ball, definitely just stick with Lele because it's an ultra ball away, and it's not as much of a liability sitting on your bench like Jirachi is, because Jirachi only has 90 health, and its attack is pretty crap. So you're definitely gonna want to use Lele because it has higher HP, so it's not as big a liability. And plus, if you're playing a deck that plays DCE, Energy Drive is an amazing attack. And if you're playing Psychic Energy, Tapu Cure GX could come in clutch in certain situations. Some downsides to Karen is that it is your supporter for the turn. There are some times where you're going to want to play Karen, but then also play another supporter like Sycamore or N. So you're definitely not going to be able to do that because it's a supporter. You can only play one per turn. Another way you could use this card, another bad thing about this card is a supporter. Like I said, you can't play two, so you're going to have to play something like a Ringaroo or Artillery or Shaman if you need to draw cards. There are a lot of times in the Night March match, especially, where you want to use Karen and Ant at the same time. One to shuffle their cards back in the deck, and then also to limit their resources for their following turn. So definitely gotta consider that. We will be talking about Oricorio next week, so that way we can talk about why Oricorio or Karen is better depending upon what kind of deck you are playing. That's been it, guys, though, for Karen. Let me know what you guys think about Karen down in the comment section down below, as well as what other cards you would like me to talk about as tech cards. On the list, I do have things like Oricorio, Magearna, Hala. We have a lot of different stuff coming. We're going to try to alternate between cards that are more playable in Standard and cards that are more playable and Expanded here in the next coming weeks. So just let me know which cards you just want to talk about down in the comment section down below. Until next time, peace out.